Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Red. Look, this is my first Shadowverse Worlds Beyond video. Let me know if you guys want to see some more of this. So I've been climbing the ladder with Swordcraft. Have a pretty impressive record of about 88%. And just now made the Sapphire group a few days ago. So what I want to do for you guys today, I want to show you guys the deck list I have. Honestly, this deck isn't very hard to pilot per se. You just have to know how to keep up your pressure and kind of drive those last few points home in those latter turns of the game. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this deck listing, and then we're gonna jump into some replays, and we're gonna go over how exactly you want to play this deck or the mindset you want to have as you play this deck. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, guys. So here we are in game. Let's go ahead and jump to our deck listing. Alright, so here is our deck. As you see, typical Swordcraft deck. We have a low curve in. As you see, we have a good bit of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Well, not quite too many 4s. We only have 3, but you primarily want a lot of 1, 2, and 3 cost cards because it is so crucial for this deck and Swordcraft in general, probably for this season. You're going to want to have a low curve because it's going to be so important for your board tempo to have a good bit of 1s, 2s, and 3s, so you increase your odds of drawing those cards and also being able to play those cards early on where it matters most. You definitely want to be getting in a lot of chip damage early, so that you can set up your latter turns to storm out your opponent. So before we dive in too deep, let me show you guys some of the critical cards that you're going to need for this deck. So the most critical card in this deck, I would say, is Albert. You don't necessarily have to have 3 copies of this card. I've been running 2, and he shows up in most of my games, if not the vast majority. You really don't have to play this card too early. It is very, very rare that I'm playing this card on curve, as my opponent is not really at a low enough health by play point 5 where you warrant playing Albert, because most likely he'll be removed in the following turn, and then of course you will have to perhaps rely on a top deck of your second Albert, which may not be possible. So definitely at least 2 Alberts, because he is going to be one of the ways that you win the game. Next, we will want 1 copy of Centaur Centurion. I think that more than 1 is not really warranted. You don't really need to see him that often. There are a few games where he has won me the game on 8 if my opponent wasn't able to deal with my board early. But I would say 1 copy of this card should be enough. And he's also a bronze, so everyone should have him. Next, 3 copies of Geno. This card is absolutely cracked. I'm surprised this card is not a legendary. His effect is insane. He comes out on board. He's a 7/7/6 in a really good stat line. He can attack twice. He also attacks the same turn that you play him because he has rush. Also, when you strike with him, he gives himself barrier, so he takes no damage, and he can help replenish your board by summoning 1/1 knights. So this card is a must-have at 3. This is probably going to be a staple in Swordcraft for the foreseeable future. He just gives you so much tempo. He can save your Super Evolves late game, but even on top of that, if your opponent is low on HP, you can Super Evolve him. He will be a 10/9 that when he kills something, he also does 1 ping damage to your opponent. So not only does he help you clear your opponent's board and refill your board, but not only does he have self-protection, but he can also deal chip damage to face if you Super Evolve him. So this card is absolutely cracked. You have to have 3 of him. It is not even negotiable. Next, we have Olivia. I run 2 copies of her. For a while I was running 1, but I didn't quite see her enough, and so this card is absolutely cracked. It's probably a staple in most decks in this format. She's a 7 cost 4/4 When you fanfare, you draw 2 cards, you restore 2 defense to your leader, and you recover 2 play points. So she's effectively a 5 play point play. She helps you draw cards, which is always busted in any card game, and she helps your survivability. But on top of that, her Super Evolve is absolutely insane as well. She can help you push through wards late game, because a lot of times your opponents are trying to ward you out at about this play point in the game, around turn 7 or so. So she can help you push through wards. She can also help you push more damage by Super Evolving a follower who can attack face. So I think 2 Olivias is the sweet spot for this deck. It's been working well for me, so that's what I would recommend. For our final legendary, it is going to be Amelie Silver Captain. This card, for a while, I didn't think she was like too crazy, but the more and more I've climbed the ladder, she has been a very good addition to this deck. I only had one of her at one point as I climbed through Topaz, but just through some matches, I was like, man, it would be nice to have another copy of this card. For her barrier effect, also just for the draw effect, because Sword's weakness has typically been their draw power. They don't typically have a lot of draw or search in their decks, and instead they rely on playing on curve, huge power swings. But the con to that is that they would typically run out of cards. So if you could survive Swordcraft's onslaught of attacks and waves of soldiers, then you would typically beat them as they would not have any cards up in hand to attack with, or essentially they are relying on top decks the rest of the game. So this card is cracked for refilling your hand. She's effectively a 3-point play, and she also can give the rest of your board barrier for a layer of protection, perhaps against Apollo or Calamity Breath, other board wipes. So this card is very good at 2. Next, in terms of another must-have card, is the Iron Crown Ward. She is insane. This card is insane. Not only does it help refill your board if it was wiped previously, but if your opponent cannot wipe your board on their turn, you can throw this card down, evolve it. She is a 6/6 for a 4-drop, which is insane. And she also summons 2 knights, and she buffs all your allies +1/+1. I am surprised this is not a legendary card, because this effect is insane, especially for a 4-drop. So especially going second, you're going to want to see this card in your hand. If you draw this card and you're going second, you want to keep this card, because the player going second can evolve on turn 4. So you definitely want to have this card. It's going to help your tempo so much. I have won so many games just from playing this card on 4, evolving, doing 6 to 8 damage to face, and my opponent just simply cannot recover from it. So this card is a 3 of. It is not negotiable. You have to have 3 copies of this card. And the rest is just your standard filler. You want to play our Quick Bladers early. Commanders, you basically just want to play on 1. You don't really want to play these samurais too early. You kind of want to save them for when you have Super Evolve, so you can take out big threats, maybe large wards, or just other threats that may be threatening you with lethal. You can throw this guy down for 2, even play him alongside of Olivia. Since Olivia does recover you 2 points, you can effectively play him, Super Evolve him, so you will have a Super Evolve Bane, which is very, very good. So next we're going to have Luminous Lance Trooper, very good card. It just extends your board, and it also gives you rust. One way of the maid just helps us with our bricks. So if we draw too many copies of Geno or Luminous Magus, we can effectively throw that away back into our deck and then draw 2 other Swordcraft followers. So this kind of helps us unbrick our hand. I got 1 Iron Lovebound. This is a flex card. I just like the stats he gives. He gives another unit +1/+1, which I typically give to my Luminous Lance Trooper or to my Royal Coachwoman, mostly because your opponent they're normally looking to kill Luminous Lance Trooper because they don't want you to have rush. So I give it to her so they take more damage if they want to trade into her, or they have to use more resources if they want to kill her. And Royal Coachwoman, your opponents typically ignore this card because she gives you a knight in return when she dies. So if you buff her and make her hit just a little bit harder per turn, we are incentivizing our opponent to to use some resources to get rid of this. And that's primarily some of the points of Swordcraft is you want your opponent to be using their spells or their resources early on to minimize your ping damage. So we want to go wide, we want to hit them fast, we want to hit them often and annoy them to where your opponent has to deal with your board. So while they deal with your board, they're not advancing their game plan, but you are. Because all this chip damage adds up to where we can storm them out with Albert on 5, or storm them out with Centaur on 8, or overwhelm our board with very strong cards here like Geno, and go wide, hit them hard, and have them deal with these threats, and just simply smother them in pressure. So we have two ways to win. We smother them in our by just going wide every turn, and as they take 2 damage every turn, either they get overwhelmed from that, or we set them up to get stormed out from Albert or Centaur. So that's basically it. I got a few replays saved for you guys, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Alright, so this is one of my last games I've had in Ruby, and we're up against Runecraft. Sword does really good into Runecraft because Runecraft doesn't really have any wards in their kit, and they kind of lack ping damage at the moment. So this is a favorable matchup for us, and as you see here, I have a good curve. We have our Quick Blighter on 1. It's excellent. We also drew it into a 2-drop here. So our curve is looking good. They just draw. Great for us. They didn't play any bodies. So we're going to go ahead and go face and play our Coachwoman. And we're going to keep up on our pressure here. She plays a Dazzling Rune Knight, which we're just going to ignore. So I think that they're going to want to trade into my unit. So I play the 0-2 ward here to kind of effectively stop her from trading to my unit to give me another turn of extra damage. Okay, so she killed my Quick Blighter. We have Evolve, perfect curve for our Iron Crown ward. We refill our board, we buff our attackers, and we keep going face. She's already at 10 damage on her turn 5. Okay, in an attempt to clean up our board, she plays Jean and Greya. I'm sorry, Anne and Greya. Evolves. Kills a 1/1. Okay, so did not clear our entire board, which is good. I play my 3 here that spawns a knight. I use my extra play point, and I buff my entire field, and I evolve for more damage. We want to keep going face. We want to keep up our pressure. And they are already at 3 HP on turn 6. If we were to draw into Albert here, it would just be an easy game, but thank God we have Quick Blighter. Toss them down, super evolve them, and it is game. And they surrender. So just like that, as you can see, we had insane pressure early. We curved out very well, and it was just too much pressure too fast for them to deal with our offense. So Runecraft is a pretty favorable matchup. I have another win here I want to show you with Havencraft. Havencraft is typically a class that goes against Swordcraft. They typically have a lot of healing, a lot of wards, and a lot of board clear. So Havencraft is a very uphill battle. But nonetheless, our game plan is still very similar. We want to go wide, we want to hit them hard, we want to hit them fast, we want to curve out as best we can. So I start out with my 1-drop here. We're going to go a little bit wider with our board. This was a misplay here. I should have played her first and attack, so I missed out on 1 damage here. So be sure to play your 2-1-2 before you attack with her.
Most who take the high road wind up dead.
And again, I'm just going as wide as I can here. Early damage is really going to matter.
You are safe here.
Can't be.
Okay, so she will take a good bit of damage here.
Better run.
I kind of trade into the Tiger because I want to expand my board even more. And this time I did not misplay by summoning the Knight before I attack. Alright, so this is one of those cases where, as you can see here, where Haven kind of directly opposes our game plan by healing and wiping our board in one turn. So we need to refill our board. I go Iron Crown Ward here, evolve, go over this 5/5 ward, and I leave her another board that she has to deal with. Okay, this is not a very strong play. He will be able to get rid of the 6. And again, a heal. Place a ward.
Hurry up!
The Lord Commander dons my hidden technique.
So I played Equip Blader here to receive this buff here. I go over the ward so I can get more face damage. We're in a really good spot here. They're on turn 6. They have 9 HP.
Not all is lost.
Okay, they clear my board again. I play Amelia here for more card draw because I'm getting really low on cards. I didn't want to super evolve here because I have a feeling that my opponent will have more ways to heal. So we don't want to hard commit right now. We kind of want to see how they're going to react to being low health. And we want to see what our next few top decks are going to be. So Geno is going to come down here. I'm going to super evolve him to kill out this, what's this girl name? I forgot this card's name. Yeah, Lapis, that's what her name is. So as you see there, we did 2 more ping damage to face while we refill our board. He responds back with a Divine Thunder to clear out our board. Plays a body. We're going to play Luminous Magus, and we're going to play our ward here just for card draw. I'm going to super evolve to go over the Monk, and I'm going to put her at 5.
To face the unknown.
So I'm expecting another big play point commitment here to, yep, exactly, to wipe the board, which he does. So we drew into Olivia, very important, because again, we want to draw. And Swordcraft's weakness is drawing. Play Olivia, heal a little bit, draw a little bit, and then we play our Luminous Magus to refill our board. He plays John. Wipes our board, heals some more, places another ward. We play another Olivia, draw some more, and there we go. We do our Bane removal.
Wind up dead.
And then we play our Commander. We're not quite threatening lethal here, but we are threatening more damage.
There is no glory.
He plays the Sacred Griffin. He's attempting to survive by clearing our board. He's still kind of low on HP, which is good. Play our Amelia. We draw more cards. And we drew into our Geno, which is amazing. Geno makes light work of this board. Refills our board. We're threatening lethal. We're looking good. He plays Divine Thunder that'll kill our Geno and kill our Knights. He also plays with a Featherfall. Huge play point commitment. Huge play point commitment. And I just kind of troll here by playing Weird the Maiden to see what I would draw. And then we play our Centaur for game.
The power of a beast.
A trial I must overcome.
So just as you can see there, Haven actually takes us into late game most cases because they have so much heal, they have so much board wipe, and they have so many wards that you're going to have to play the long game with Haven. So your early game plan is still the exact same. You're going to be pressuring them early. You're going to be making your board wide, and you're going to be always threatening face damage. If you're not constantly threatening face damage with this deck, you will simply fall behind. You must constantly threaten face damage and constantly threaten, put them under pressure to want to clear your board as much as possible. Because again, in most cases, except for Haven, because they can clear your board and still advance their game plan, but most crafts, if they want to clear your board, they have to do a hard commitment. So I'll show you guys one more win here with Dragoncraft. This matchup can kind of go either way. I feel that this match is kind of like a 50-50, that both these classes seem pretty evenly matched. And anyone can run away with this game, but our game plan is going to be very similar. We're going to want to see a good curve early. We draw into a 1, which is great. We drop that 1. And this Dragoncraft player immediately removed my 1 cost. So that means that he will be very adamant on having board control. So you definitely want to pick up on how your opponent responds to damage. and see, okay, are they an opponent that likes to go face, or are they an opponent that likes to maintain board control? And then you use that to your knowledge. So again, the Apollo confirms my suspicion here that he wants board control. So we go ahead and remove that because we do not want him evolving the Apollo. Because the Apollo will also do another 1 damage to my entire board. So for the very first time on turn 4, he actually advances his game plan by ramping. So turns 1 through 4, on his end, we're just defense plays basically. So he's finally done something to advance his game plan, and look at where we are. We're 3 health up. We have a nice board. He ramps and evolves again, and he only clears 2 bodies. It looks like. Yep, leaves me 2 bodies. So this is the perfect time to play Amelia. Add more face damage, and they're gonna evolve over this. Now you could have also played the Iron Crown Warden there as well, but I wanted the extra draw. He responds with a Twilight Dragon, and he super evolves because his hand is getting low. And we are good. We have Regina on our hand. He easily clears this, and this is so much value here, guys. He used a super evolve. He used 9 play points and a super evolve on his turn, and we cleared that threat with just a 7. Okay, he uses his last super evolve in an attempt to clear my board. Okay, we have both our Albert. We just have to get through these wards. Dragon doesn't really heal too much. So once you get past the wards and they're really big creatures, then you're normally good to go. So I'm expecting another Twilight Dragon here at the very most. I don't think I'm any threat of dying here. Okay, plays a 3-drop, plays an Olivia. He's out of super evolves, and that is not enough, and he is dead on board to this Geno. Alright, and I do have a few losses. I want to show you guys this Portalcraft loss here. So here we are. Portalcraft can be a little tough sometimes. Artifact Portal especially. I feel as though Artifact Portal is easier to fight than Puppetcraft. Well, it's all Portal, but them actually playing puppets. Puppets can clear your board quite consistently. Artifact, not so much. It really depends on the patience of the player and what kind of pieces that they fuse. But of course, the Gamma piece is specific is a threat to Swordcraft because it does 3 to your entire board, which is a very good clear. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter what craft that we're up against. We want to go wide. We want to hit them hard and hit them fast. Okay, he clears the ward, and he uses a spell to clear my 2/3. Okay, so we have another damage to face. I play my Quickblader. Going water. So now he's gonna have to evolve and deal with this board. Oh wow. Plays Ancient Cannon. Does some fusion. He should be able to clear here. He gets the extra gear. And he should have 1 more fusion. Yep, there we go. So he clears my board without using any Evo points, which is very bad for me. So we go Albert. We want to threaten him with low health. So we're going to go in with our Albert. Instead of going wide, the Ancient Cannon can actually clear our board pretty easily. So we want to keep our units down and just hit them hard. So this is one of the few cases where I actually play Albert here. He does some more fusion. And he didn't quite have enough to kill my Albert, so he did have to trade. So in order to keep up my pressure, the only good play I have here is to go Iron Crown. I didn't want to attack because I wanted him to fuse more if he wanted to use the Ancient Cannon. and he has to bullet from a different dimension. He will fuse here to kill both of the knights, which is very good for him. This guy, this ancient cannon is putting in so much work, it is unbelievable. So, with the play to have available to me, go ambush with this guy. I want to super evolve him, and hopefully he does not have a way to deal with this. Playing my Quick Blader, I don't think I should have done this in that moment. I think I should, in case he could not clear the ambush dude, then I have another super evolve to go face. But I believe my train of thought here was, in case he did have the fusion, the Quick Blader could act as a decoy to absorb another 2 damage. But nonetheless, he still had the fusions. So this guy is cracked with these fusions. I have never seen an ancient cannon do so much work before. So here comes in our Geno. We want to clear his board and refill our board. I did not want to super evolve here, because if he does not heal out of range, then we can simply just draw into an Albert or a Centurion. Super evolve for game. So he does heal here, and he does heal out of range of all of my Storm, which is kind of annoying. And we are running really low on card draw. Thank God we drew into Amelia, draw 2 cards, recover some play points, refill our board. Now this was a misplay here. I should have played the Bane guy and killed his 8/8. I think I was running low on time here.
Stay strong. Follow me.
And that's kind of what happened here, but nonetheless, we didn't die for it, so we're still gonna have something of a board left over.
My oath is fulfilled.
Okay, really bad top deck. We finally get rid of this card, and we're gonna just play our 2 other cards here. These 2 bots will go away. Okay, he fuses into the Omega. Plays the Omega. There's my board. Ghostface. We drew into Amelia here, so that's our only logical play here. And we did not top deck into the Bane, but we actually drew into Geno here. Able to clear this. I'm actually feeling pretty good here. He's down to 2 cards. I have my Storm in my hand. But he drew into Orchis. And that is going to be game. Oh, not quite game. We have 2 health here, but this is a really hard board to clear.
Not all is lost.
We're gonna play our Wear the Maid, see if we can draw into something in kind of out here, and we completely whiff. But we have to sack our Centurion, so we're going face. We have to trade that so we don't die.
For you, dear, I would give anything.
Only ransom I take is blood.
Okay, so here I drop my Albert. We clear his board. We go 6 to face. I'm still feeling pretty good here. He has no evolves, but he will be able to fuse. He made a beta, and then he will go 3 damage to face. So very well played from my opponent here. He played this marvelously. The Ancient Cannon put in so much work for him, and he always made sure that he had pieces in his hand to clear my board. So very well played from my opponent there. Those are the games, guys. So remember, you want to have your curve early. You want to hold on to your Alberts and your Centurions to storm out the game and win. You want to have your Olivias and your Amelia in your deck to help refill your hand, because that's the main weakness of this deck. It lacks card draw. So those 2 cards, Olivia and Amelia, are a must-have. I have those at 2 ofs. And again, our Ironclad Warden is an absolute must-have. So that's the deck, guys. I'll put the share code in the video description below. And yeah, let me know if you guys want to see another deck listing. All right, well, hope you guys enjoy it. See you next time.